All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:08 on a Sunday, and just because I'm running around like a chicken when my head comes off doesn't mean that I'm not on this call and I'm taking time. We have about 47 people on here on a Sunday night in Orlando. It's Sunday Fun Day in Dallas. I'm sure it's something similar, but we're here, sacrificing to make sure that we're leveling up. So before we get started, guys, drop a 111 in the chat if you are pumped, if you are blessed and grateful to be a part of an opportunity that allows you to pay yourself on your performance, pay yourself on your work ethic, and you're ready to take this week and make it like anything you've ever seen before. Now, before we introduce a couple of guest speakers on tonight's call, I want to share with you guys a little bit of what I see happening within Orlando, happening within Dallas, happening within Connecticut, and everywhere else from the call. So if you guys can, go ahead and drop the city that you're calling from in the chat right now, because we have a couple different squads on here. Drop the city in the chat that you're calling in from. Show the whole entire call where this is based out of. Show the whole entire call where it is that you're calling out of, right? All right, Chicago, hooks at New Hampshire, LA, Chicago, CT, Dallas. We got Orlando in here. That's what I'm talking about. So guys, we have people from all over the United States jumping on this call. And I wanted to go ahead and just introduce myself. My name is Jay Awal. I'm currently a Platinum 2000 with an Mastery Some of you guys know me as Jason and Brown and Matt's Rosa, creative director. I'm the guy that makes them look a lot better looking than they really are on social media. So, kudos to that. But hey, traveling around the world with these guys, I've learned a lot of different things. And what I want to share with you guys real quick about what's going on in Orlando, because that's where I'm based out of, is pretty interesting. Orlando is an untapped market. There are no chairmen in Orlando. And, realistically, MXM, the movement, and, Ari and Steven's team are really on the forefront of doing something really big in this city that no one's ever been able to do before, no one's ever seen. And, I have a couple friends all over the company, and I reached out to my boy Cash Cartier, someone that I have a lot of respect for. He's been through trials and tribulations, just like I have, just like I'm sure you have, but it's the magnitude of those trials and tribulations that I think sets people apart. And, this gentleman's been able to go from Platinum 2000 to Chairman 25, and that's currently my goal. Just like he did in the next 9 months, my goal is to go from Platinum 2000 to Chairman 25. And what better to learn from than partnering up with other people? So to let you guys know where I'm standing right now, where possibly you're standing right now, is you've probably been in this business for a week or two if you just joined within the promotion, right? Or about a month within the promotion time. You might be in this business for 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is, and you find yourself, following the process, maybe, but not seeing the most astronomical results. Maybe some people are making more money trading than you. Maybe some people in the first 7 days hit more P150, while you can't seem to even get one person on a webinar. You can't seem to get one person that's willing to get enrolled on into an event. And I wanted this call to serve a purpose, of what the purpose of is of culture, right? What is it? Why is it so important to create a culture within your business, to create a family? Who better do it than, the walking ATMs and Cash Cartier? Second thing I wanted to touch base on in this call, and I asked Cash Cartier to help out with us, is basically how to take advantage of the system, how to utilize the system, how to duplicate within this business. So not only are we creating, profitable traders, but we're creating profitable leaders, people that are also helping people get to that next level in life. So if you guys are ready to take it to the next level, we have 61 people on this call. Go ahead and drop a next level in the chat. Next level in the chat if you guys are ready to take this thing to the next level. Next level in the chats. If you're ready to take this thing to the next level, and if you're not typing next level, baby, then you can go ahead and excuse yourself, because this is only for the people that are ready to take it to the next level. All right? Next level, next level, next level, next level, next level. Now, the biggest thing that I've realized in this business is opportunity. And before I pass it on to a gentleman that's not only been able to take advantage of this opportunity, I want you guys to understand that if you were just to take a minimal approach in this business, if you were not to give this, 7 hours, 8 hours a day, or 4 hours a day, like a part-time business would actually require of you, and you just hit 2 ranks a year, from the first year, you go from P150 to P600. The second year, you go from P1000 to P2000, right? The third year, you go from P2000 to P5000. And the fourth year, you're going from P5000, Chairman 10, Chairman 25. So within 4 years, where average people are getting a college degree to then look for a job without any promise, with a minimal approach of just doing 2 rank ups a year, within 4 years, you guys are 6-figure residual income earners and traders at that. So I want you guys to understand the opportunity that we have in front of us, why it is that we're doing what we're doing, because realistically, if your parents are still working a job, it's your obligation. It's your moral responsibility to make sure you do things differently than they did, so you can begin providing the things that they weren't able to provide for themselves. They did their best to give us a roof over our head, to put foods in our stomach, but sometimes that means taking the safe route. Now, entrepreneurs, successful individuals, they take the road that's less traveled by. You see, what's easy in the beginning, right, is hard in the end. So that's why so many people do the easy road, expecting it just to be easy all their life. But that's when they're working as a financial slave the rest of their life. They're working to pay off debts. They're working a 9 to 5 until they're 95, right? But the individuals like yourself that are on calls like this on a Sunday night, the individuals that are taking action, they're investing in themselves, they're taking time to grow, going from bad to good to great. Those are the people that do the things that are hard in the beginning. And what's hard in the beginning ends up being easy in the long run. And I think that's what Cash Cartier is starting to experience now, going through his trials and tribulations. Like, hey, it was hard. And don't expect him to come on here and give you guys some secret sauce. I believe a lot of what he's going to talk about is just how he was able to implement it in a way that bred success. So my man Cash, are you on here, bro?
I am. Can you hear me?
Awesome.
Oh,
yes,
perfect.
sir. Yes, sir. Pleasure to have you on this call. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Guys, I texted Cash, and I'm sure his inbox is just getting blown up, but I texted Cash, and within 5 minutes, this guy was able to respond to me. And I was like, hey, man, I talked to Matt, and, Matt said I should probably reach out to you. And he was like, dude, no problem. I'll definitely run a call to you. So, hey, utmost gratitude for you, brother. I just saw you recently in Dallas. Keep crushing it. I know at London, you're going to be walking the stage as Chairman 50, Chairman 100. Who knows? Anything's possible at this point from what we've seen in this company, right? So, guys, drop a one-on-one in the chat if you guys are excited to learn from P2000 to Chairman 25 in a year's span. Cash Cartier. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Thank you, AWOL. I appreciate it. I really do. And you guys, just to give it back to AWOL really quick, he's somebody who immediately right when I've seen him, he's just somebody whose energy, etc., is just over exceeds himself. Let me just say that he's somebody that right when I see him, he's just kind of like a big bright light in the room. He immediately came up to me, introduced himself to me, and we were just kind of talking in Dallas, etc. And then the other thing that a lot of people can look at him as Jason Brown and Matt Rose's videographer, right? Which is already amazing, to think of someone that's able to take on the stress of really the people who really lead this entire company and make them appear who they are online, etc. Right? So that alone has got to be a stressful thing. But then can also be something that I believe can shadow you as well. And so it's crazy, right? Because when I seen AWOL out there in Texas, I seen him walk out there when we were throwing down a training in front of everybody. In fact, it was all chairmen speaking. It was chairman's only speaking, and AWOL went out there, and after he got done speaking, etc., I didn't know that he was not a chairman, and so that should say a lot to you, right? Because what I want you to write down right now is that you should not look at for people for where they are now. You should look at them for where they're going and where they're going and where you believe they're going to be, right? Because at the end of the day, right, I remember when I was a P2K, I remember when I was a P1K. In fact, in the beginning of this year, I was actually unranked, right? I was actually unranked in the beginning of this year, all the way till January, I want to say 6 or something like that was when I started ranking up, etc. And I remember telling people like, hey, don't look at me for where I am now, because you're gonna miss out on nuggets, because I know my mentality is not at the rank that I'm currently at. I know it's above that. And so what people got to understand is, right, when you're looking at whoever mentors you, etc., it's very easy to look at them for where they are now, but you got to understand that sometimes our mentality is very high and our income has to catch up. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes our mindset is very high and our income has to catch up. And so that's something that I immediately see with AWOL, right? Because at the end of the day, I see how he was speaking with all the chairmen, etc., and I knew right away that this guy is an above average guy that's working with us here, right? So just want to give a shout out to him really quick. And so with that being said, y'all, I'm going to hop in here. I don't know if you guys know who I am, so really quick, my name is Cash Cartier. I've been with the company for quite some time now. In fact, I was in here before most people were in here, before Alex Morton, etc. And I was someone that did not have immediate success. In fact, I probably would have been your last pick out of everybody, right? My background, I'm a felon. You know, I'm a felon. I'm a high school dropout. Went to prison when I was 18. Got out when I was 21. I was out in California. I moved to Texas to change my life, and I started bussing tables at a restaurant. Hopped into this. Was still bussing tables, etc. And I actually ended up leaving this company, leaving Jason Brown and Matt Rosa, and went to another company. Ended up coming back. And I had a really slow start coming back. I'm just going to be honest with you. And so my journey was not the quickest journey ever. But when I popped off pretty quick. And so with that part being said, one thing I want you guys to realize, right, is don't compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 13, and don't look at where people are right now, and don't look at where you are right now. Because one thing I also remember saying, and one thing I also remember thinking, right, is just because people are hitting chairman so much faster than me does not mean that at some point I won't lap them up. And it's not to compare, by the way, okay? I'm just giving you the mentality that you can have. So a lot of you might see people hitting the rank that you want to hit, and you're stuck at wherever you're at, or maybe you can't even get anybody on your team or whatever, right? And you're comparing yourself to everybody else. But what you don't realize is that you, right, you have a different journey than everybody else. And who's to say that maybe you're just stuck where you are right now so you can explode through the next levels, right? And that's what kind of happened with me. And so what you got to understand is just because you're stuck somewhere doesn't mean you can't rank up 10 times in 1 month, for example. It does not mean that you can rank, that you're going to be stuck there forever. And that's what happened with me. I went from unranked in the beginning of this year to chairman 25 by September, right? And that's something that when it was going on, right, I had my mom, my baby sister, and my grandma all died within the same 3 weeks. In the beginning of January, right? All of them passed away at the same time. Baby sister and grandma were killed in a car accident. And then my mom also passed away as well, right? She's actually my grandma that raised me, but anyways, right? So with that part being said, it was something that took a toll on me, and I used that pain and I transmuted that pain into, into energy, into the business, right? And so with that part being said, that's a little bit about myself. And now let's kind of kick this call off. One thing you'll realize is I use the word energy a lot. I use the word energy a lot. And what you'll also realize is that a lot of other successful people use the word energy a lot. And so the thing is many of you are probably looking at energy as just this thing. It's just this thing that we could say, oh, they were enthusiastic, or oh, they were this, or they were that, or they were positive, right? Or they were loud. But what I want you to understand is energy is something that's going to help you take your business to the next level. And I'm going to go way into depth in this, because one thing you'll know about me is I'm not the smartest individual in the world. I'm not the best speaker in the world. I'm maybe not the best at training, etc., right? But one thing I can tell you is, one thing I know that I'm actually gifted at is I'm very analytical. And so one thing that I tell people is learn how to learn, right? Learn how to learn. Why do I say that? Because what I realized when I was studying successful people is that it's not only the points that they're making, because most people, what they want to do is write down only the how-tos, but they don't want to write down the mindset of things, right? And the how-tos do not necessarily matter. The how-tos do not necessarily matter if it's how you do it, right? It's how you do things. The mindset is all that matters, right? You can throw a very big home event and have a bad mindset. You could throw a home event and have a bad mindset, and if it doesn't add up, you're not going to get the results still. And so what you got to understand is, a lot of people that are on this call, I can almost guarantee you, have the same mentality that I used to have, which is, I hate mindset. All they do is talk about mindset. I want to know how the how-tos are. I want to know specifically how to grow a business. And that's ego. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, that's ego. And that's going to be why you're at where you're at, because you have an ego. And once you really learn that and understand that, you will grow to the next level. Okay, so with that part being said, right, mindset is everything. And that is why I stayed at the same place I was at for many years, because I thought that I knew everything and I didn't want to know any more mindset. I wanted to know, how do I pack out the home event, etc. And that's when I figured it all out. So I started watching successful people, and I was only writing down the how-tos. But one day I decided to take a step back. And when I took that step back, I said, let me really just pay attention to the words that they're saying. Let me just really pay attention to how they're saying it. let me pay attention to some of the words that they say over and over, because what I realize is that a lot of successful people, what they will say the same things and that it'll overlap and we don't catch it. And one of the things I seen that were overlapping is they all kept using the word energy, whether they knew it or not. So for example, they would try to go from point A to point B on how to throw a home event, and they would say the word energy in there, and nobody would pay attention to that. Right? No one would pay attention to that. They kept saying the word energy over and over, and other words as well. That's my point. Not just energy, other words. That's why I say learn how to learn and really pay attention to what people are saying, and not just the points of what they're saying. Okay? Not just from A to B. Oh, I get that point. Let me write that down. Also, the energy that they're saying, the words that they're using from their subconscious mind that they don't even know that they're using. And so when I started doing that, I started looking at energy, and I started using that, and I implemented the focus on energy in my business. And now let's really get into what I'm saying right now. If you want to learn how to build a very, very big business with a lot of culture, right, energy is key, okay? Energy and love and expectation is what is going to give you your culture. Energy, love, and expectation. And so what I did is I took that myself who's analytical, and I started really looking at business. I started looking at the forex market and the stock market. And this is on the building side, by the way. So get my point here, right? What I did was I looked at what is a stock in momentum? What is a currency in momentum? What is what is something that goes up really quickly? And what I realized, and I really hope y'all are taking notes. If you're not, you should not be on this call. I'm just going to be very honest with you guys, okay? So what I realized about, the stock going up was, number one, right, the stock market is all it is that's a representation of people's energy and what it is that they're thinking and what it is that they're feeling. And so if something is going to momentum, right, I said, okay, well, let me take a step back. Let me look at, for example, the NASDAQ. Now let's just say IM is on the NASDAQ, okay? So let me zoom in a little bit more. I see IM. Now let me zoom in a little bit more. We see Jason Brown and Matt Rosa's organization. Let me zoom in even more, right? We see AWOL's team, Cash Cartier's team. Let me zoom in more. We see the P2Ks, the P1Ks. Let me zoom in more. And you'll see that all this is if the chart is going up, it's a lot of positive energy, a lot of high energy. And now what I said is, what is energy? Energy is excitement. And I said, so if I reverse engineered this. So I said, if energy is excitement, and if energy is excitement, right, how can I create excitement in my business? Okay, and I'm about to give you guys some very big nuggets right now. So I said, how can I create excitement in my business? And then this answer came up. I started looking at the things that create momentum, the things that people do that make them move a lot faster. And I came up with a couple of things that I wanted to add into my business, right? And so what I did is I looked at the Jesuits. The Jesuits say, show me the boy until he's 7, and I will show you the man. And so what I did is I realized that the newest person, right? The newest person is usually the excited person, meaning high energy. So that is your momentum. And so what I did was I took what the Jesuit said, give me the boy until he's 7, I'll show you the man. I said, give me the newer member for the first 7 days, and I'll show you the P150. So what does that mean? That means I set the expectation. Remember what I told you? I said expectation is part of the culture. Expectation is part of the momentum, right? Excitement is also the newer member, so that is momentum. Every time you get a new member, you now have momentum. So many people say they don't have momentum, but they have a new member come in today. You just didn't know what to do with it. You just didn't know what to do with that energy. You didn't know what to do with that excitement, and so you lost it. So what we do, if we can set a pace for the newer member, then we will move a lot faster. And so what you'll realize is, if I set the expectation of P150 in the first 7 days, they will move at that pace. So the Jesuits, what they knew is that from the ages of 1 to 7, these people did not, the boys, the kids, they do not know what they do not know, so we can insert things into their mind, and we can get them to do what we want them to do and program them how we want to program them. So what is my point? The point is when somebody comes into this business, they don't know anything, and they don't know what they don't know. So if you tell them that P150 in the first 7 days is the expectation, and that everybody does it. That's all they know. It's not going to be hard for them. See, the thing is it might be hard for you because you didn't know that, because no one set the expectation for you. And so what I want to do is I want to start focusing right now on the expectation of when somebody comes in, because the newer member is your momentum. It's how we launch them. It's how we get them started. It's what we say to them when they get started. We want to set this expectation right out the gate. So P150 in the first 7 days. P150 in the first 7 days. That is how you start moving very quickly. Now, the other thing that I want you to know is taking advantage of ranks. Rank is number 2 on excitement, aka momentum, aka momentum. Number 3 is incentivizations, right? Incentivizations, right? Right. So what I realize is people actually don't care about money. Nobody wants to be chairman just for the money. I'm gonna tell you that again one more time. Nobody wants to be chairman just for the money. They want to go sit in the chairman section. They want the respect. They want, when they walk in, everyone to look at them. That's what they really want. Because the thing is if everybody said you want to be a chairman and we lowered the income to $5,000 a month, but we made chairman a big deal, you'd still want to be a chairman. Because it's just the respect we give it, right? So incentivizations is a big thing. The fact that you can sit in the front in the chairman's section is what people really want. So how can I create that on my team? So what we did was, right, I said, let me go ahead and find something that's not money to incentivize my team. And we added in these bands, right? And so on the walk-in ATMs team, right, these bands are worth more than money. Why? Because this is our ranking system within the system of IM. So that's going to be number 3. And so what we do is we have a P150 band, we have a P600 band. They're all different colors, right? They all say the same thing, but different colors. And so now what we'll have is, well, people on the team that all have, right, that will all have different colored bands, and their bands will be, the more they rank up, they keep adding on to the bands. So you know who the savage is when they walk in. Right? And we also have a P150 in 7 days bracelet or a band for those members as well. So what are we doing? We're setting the pace. We're setting the expectation, and the culture is you want one of these when you come in. I want to get my band, right? So incentivizations is number 3, okay? And the 4th one, the most important one is culture. Culture, okay? And so if we know that, let me give you a little tip, right? Have you ever walked in and drop a 1, right? I don't like to do hype stuff, so this is not on hype. Have you ever went to an event, and when you were at the event, you were like, you felt so good, right? They kept telling you to stand up, blah, blah, and when you left the event, you left and you're like, I'm about to go slay this shit, right? You seen all the chairmen. Drop a 1 if you know what I'm talking about when you were lit at an event, right? Okay, perfect. Most of you, perfect. So now, drop a 2 if that feeling and excitement went away. For me, it still does till this day. But drop a 2 if this is you as well. Okay, perfect. So this is what I realized. Money is vibrating at a high level of energy. Money is vibrating at a high level of energy. So if I can vibrate on a high level of energy, that means I'm going to attract more money. And so excitement is where the money's at, because excitement's a high level of energy, which is why a stock goes up. So what I realized was that the chairman did not know that they knew about energy, so they would tell everybody to stand up. Everybody stand to your feet, and we're all getting annoyed. Everybody yell. Everybody scream. And they were saying all these things, but we didn't know why. And so let me give you a little tip here. Once you leave the event, are you just excited, or are you vibrating on the same level as those chairmans? And then you lost it. Because remember, you said, I'm going to go ham when you left the event. Remember? You said, I'm going to go ham when you left the event, and the excitement went away. But a chairman is someone that always has a high level of energy. So if you have a high level of energy at all times, you now smash ranks. You now smash ranks. And so the reason why they're telling you to stand up is because if you're in the room, if you're either going up to someone's level of energy or they're coming down to yours. That's why when you look at a football team, you'll say the morale's low. You'll say the morale's low. That team has low morale. They have low energy, right? They have low energy. So if you have high energy, you're the winning football team then. And so what I realized is these people, what they're doing when they're speaking, everyone stand up, they don't know that they need to get you on their energy level before they can start, because someone's got to go somewhere. It's either they go down to yours or you go up to theirs. And so if you really understand energy, you can really pop off. I want you, this isn't mindset. This is everything for your business, and I really hope you're grasping what I'm saying, because I'm being very detailed on purpose. I want to help you live in the high level of energy on all times within your organization. And so the Walk-In ATMs team is trained to watch energy at all times. That's why you know when they walk into an event, out of 5,000, 10,000 people, you will hear the Walk-In ATMs team. Why is that? Because they're trained. They're trained to make sure that everybody is vibrating a high level of energy. So if everyone's screaming up and we have 3 people sitting down, oh, you're going to stand up with the rest of the squad, because our team is only as strong as the weakest level of energy. So we get everyone up, and we now have a full team of excitement, and a team of excitement and all energy is a business of momentum, because the entire team is going ham now. And so let me go, now I'm done with all of that. I'm going to go point to point on everything that I just said now. So if we leave and we're excited and we're staying on the level and the same vibrations as these chairmen, we leave at the same vibrations that these chairmen set up for us, and then we go home and we lose it, right? I started thinking, how can we keep it? How can we keep it? And that is when all these things came into mind. And so now what I realize is that what we do is when we try to, what we call it remotivating our team when they're not motivated. When they're what is motivation? It's high energy. So we don't want to remotivate. We want to have them motivated at all times. So how can we do that? How can we do that? That's the main question. Because if you can figure this out, you can't lose. All right? Disclaimer. The results not typical, you can probably lose, right? Whatever, right? So moving forward, okay, this is what we want to do. You must set the expectation in the launch. When you launch someone, the best time to do anything, and I see some of the ATM squad on here, right? And nobody say anything on the ATM squad. Nobody on my squad say anything. I want you guys to tell me when the best time to launch a newer member is. Somebody tell me. You're not dumb if you get this wrong, okay? You're not dumb if you get this wrong. Yes, bet. Exactly. The best time to launch anyone is on the spot, because we want to get our team in the habit of now. Now is where the momentum is at. So if we launch them now, we've already started moving quickly, okay? We've already started to move quickly if we do it now. And so what we want to start doing is right when they sign up, we launch them. And now what we do is we set the expectation. Now write this down. Whatever it is that you want from your team, that is what you want to put in the launch process. Because a lot of people tell me that their team is not doing the things that they want, right? So that's because you never told your team what the expectation was. And so what people come up to me is they tell me the things that they don't want from their team. So you only know what you don't want from your team, and the team doesn't know what you do want. And so that's the problem, because you never told them what you want and what they should do in the first place. You never set the expectation. So let's set it right now. Because again, if they don't know what they don't know, then now we can set the expectation. So hypothetically, if your team does not show up for events when someone comes in, we say, on our team, we expect everyone to show up on events. On our team, we expect everybody to have good vibes, etc., right? On our team, we all respond back in the chats. On our team, right, we all grind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We take no days off, right? On our team, we do this, and we set that expectation. That is the start of all of this. Now, the next thing that I wanted to do is, one thing that I realized is that, let's put it in your terms. Your hot market is your newest members' warm market. Your hot market, which is momentum, is where your hot market is your newest member's warm market. So then what I realized is if we live inside the hot market at all times, we will now throw massive events 7 days a week. So how do we do this? We set a home event with the newest member in the launch process. We set a home event with the newer member in the launch process. Okay? And so if we do this, now you're living and you're throwing an event within your hot market. So one thing I want you to understand really quick is, right, is that we usually set our newer member up for failure. Why? Because it's actually more difficult for a newer member to get somebody to a place that they've never been. Let me explain. When somebody has never been to the hotel event that they've been invited to, etc., right, they don't want to go there. But drop a 1 if your friends know where you live. Drop a 1 if your friends know where you live. Some of you are like, no, I don't have friends. What? Just kidding. Right? Boom. So your friends know where you live, which means they're more comfortable going there because they've been there before. So if they've been there before, that means our newer member is going to be able to recruit to their house a lot easier because their friends have been there before. And keep in mind, their friends is their warm market. If their friends is their warm market and that's your hot market, wouldn't it make sense to throw a home event in your hot market and their warm market? Everybody wins. Everybody, no one else is teaching y'all this stuff. I'm trying to tell you. So some of y'all are taking notes, tripping, right? So now what do we have going on? Now what we have going on is we just bring the squad. We bring the squad to them because I can bring people to someone else's house. You can bring people, the veterans can bring some people to other locations, but the newest member, we want to set them up to win. We want to set them up for success. And so now what we're doing is we're making it easier for them to bring people to their warm market. And now guess what else we're doing? We're applying pressure on the newer member. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways, right? I assume that everyone is going to quit within their first month. In fact, I assume that everyone's going to quit within their first week. That's my assumption. And so what a lot of people say to me is, Cash, what if they don't want to? You did not sign up with me for you to tell me what you want. I'm the mentor, not you, right? Success is outside your comfort zone. So why would I do what someone else, what the comfortable person is telling me what they're comfortable with? That's not going to make you successful. See, the thing is that you don't get a personal trainer and have the personal trainer tell you, and you tell the personal trainer what you want to do in the gym. That makes no sense. You tell them what results you want, and they set the plan, and you listen. And you listen. So they're setting the expectation, they're setting the pace, and you're working up to that level of pace. And so also, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to throw up. You're going to need a water break. You're going to be tired. And your mentor is going to, or your trainer is going to keep going. So what we want to do is we need to be a mentor when these people come in. And so what we got to say to them is we got to say, I know you're going to be uncomfortable, but it's my job to get you to your why, because that's what happened when they signed up. So on our team, right, we have people, and write this down, on our team, right, we help our newest member get to P150 within the first 7 days. And the way we do it is we actually have our newer member, right? We have our newer member actually throw an event at their house within their first 7 days, because this is actually the best way to get you to P150 within the first 7 days of your week. So with that part being said, when can we, not can you, when can we schedule an event? When can we schedule an event at your house this week? And we want to get the date. Why? Why do we want to do this? No, well, the thing is if we say, can you throw an event at your house? Guess what? I don't know if you know this, but people lie. So if we say, right, when can you, and we assume, they're less likely to lie to you and say, I can't do it. So we want to assume that they can. So if we assume that they can, now we're winning. Okay, now we're winning. So that's what we want to do in the launch process. Okay, now 7 days a week. 7 days a week, right? Why? Because if you have a team that's growing, you should be getting a launch. You should be getting a home event for every single member. If you have 7 joining a week, you have 7 home events. So that is why in the DFW area, we have 7 to 10 home events. Now, I mean, we have 2 in a day, 3 in a day. Literally, in one day, not a week, in one day. So we want to be able to get that to where you're at. And so I'm trying to help you. If we do this, you will exceed. Okay, you will exceed. So that's what we want to do. That's the launch process. Now the other things that we want to do. Okay. Oh, really quick. I'm going to finish my one point. I assume everyone's going to quit within their first week. That's what I do. Why? Because most people, they think that their member might quit after a month. No, they quit in their first week because they never got their 2 and 3 or P150. The auto ship just got turned off at the end of the month, but they really quit on week 1 because they're not going to quit if they're at P150. They're not going to quit if they're at P150. Your job is to get them there. Your job is to push them there, because the thing is it's either you push them there and they don't quit on their dreams, or you don't push them and they're going to quit anyways. You're afraid that they're going to quit if you push them, but what you don't realize is either way they're going to quit. So you might as well push them. Okay? And now moving forward, right? This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do as far as your system where you're at. Okay? I don't know if you have one or not. Maybe you do. But you can go over this with AWOL, and we'll go from there, right? But let's go over this. This is the system. This is the blueprint that we have utilized on all areas of, I guess my overall team. And this is when we started setting this up in all these different locations across my team. And we started launching this blueprint of the offline grind, right? This is what literally took me from nothing all the way to Chairman 25 like that. This is what took me from P5K to Chairman 25 in 3 months. Okay, the blueprint I'm about to give you. In fact, right, when we started launching this, I want to say I was at Chairman 10, 7 to 900 people away from Chairman 25, right? It was a Thursday. I was on the phone with Matt Rosa. Shout out to Matt Rosa if he's like around or whatever, right? But on Thursday, right, I called Matt Rosa and I said, hey, I'm going to hit Chairman 25 by Monday, right? Okay, bro, whatever, right? Didn't believe me. Okay, keep in mind it's Thursday night. It's like Thursday at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, it's like Friday at 1 o'clock in the morning. Khalil Simpson, right? I got off the phone with him. I said, hey, I'm going to hit Chairman 25 on Monday. He goes, on Monday, like I was tripping, right? And I said, yeah, I'm going to hit it on Monday. And he goes, this week? I'm like, yeah. He's like, in 3 days. I'm like, yeah. He's like, bro, you're like 700-800 people out. I said, I know, right? Now guess what? Guess what? It's Thursday. 700-800 people out. We're going ham on the system. All the teams are launching the system at the same time, right? On Friday, I'm still way out. Saturday, I'm still out. I hit it on Sunday, not Monday. On Sunday, okay? On Sunday, 700 people out. So what I want you to understand is, right, we want to take quantum leaps. And so before I give you the exact blueprint, what you got to understand is we have to know what we're working for. And so your team needs to know what we're working for. We're working for hotel events, 2 of them a week, okay? 2 hotel events a week with 7 days a week of home events. Okay? So Tuesdays and Thursdays is going to be your set in stone days that you're going to throw events on. Tuesday and Thursday. Now, what I want you to understand is you never, ever, 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 ever cancel an event. Ever. If no one shows it, if no one's going to show up, you run the event anyways. And the reason why I'm chairman is because of this specifically. And most people will not listen to what I'm saying. And so I can, nothing, remember, it's the mindset. It's the mindset, not the how-tos. Because I'm going to give you the how-tos, but if you skip one day, I'm just going to call it what, you will fail. I'm just going to call it what it is. If you skip one day, if no one shows up and you skip that day, you will fail because you're the one that quit. But if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. We threw so many home events when no one showed up, but if you build it, they will come. When my family passed away, we still threw the home events. I still was speaking the same day. I was still on the same day they passed away, still on the calls. I never missed an event. I have never missed an event, even when no one was going to show up. So what you got to understand is do this at all costs. I'm done with my rant, but if you don't listen, I'm trying to really help you. If you don't listen, you're going to fail. So let's run it. Tuesday, Thursday, you want to lock these days in. Like, this is the system. You want to lock these days in wherever you're at. You want to lock these Tuesday, Thursday in, and you want to lock the locations in as well. You don't want to move these locations. You do not want to move these locations, and you want them to be in a house or somewhere that is free for right now. Somewhere that is free for right now. We don't want to charge the team. We want them to be able to execute. Okay? So you don't want to move the locations. Why? Because if your team has to think, if they have to think, they will stall. They will delay. And we want to be in the habit of now. I know exactly where we're going to be on Tuesday. I know exactly what I'm recruiting for on Tuesday. I know exactly what I'm recruiting for on Thursday. You want to never move those locations. And so if we're doing it on, let's just say the White House Avenue, okay, on Tuesday, you keep it on the White House Avenue on Tuesday. If you have to do it, if you have to change the Thursday, let's just say AWOL hypothetically can do it on his house on Tuesday. Again, hypothetically, right? Let's just say he can do it on his house on Tuesday, but he can't do Thursday. Okay? And then let's just say Matthew, right, can do it on Thursdays. Okay, well, we can lock those two locations in, but we never want to move them. Okay? We don't want to make it to where on Tuesday it's at AWOL's, right? Next Tuesday it's at Samantha's, okay, etc. You get the point. Now, those two events, what we're going to do is we're going to scale the event. We're going to scale it. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it to the home events once they start growing fast enough. One of them will turn into a venue event at some point, and we keep one of them at the home event, right? So we're scaling. One's going to move to a venue, not a hotel, but a venue, okay? And the other one is going to be the home event. Then what we're going to do is eventually scale it to 2 venue events. And I call them venue events because hotels are very expensive, but you might be able to go to peerspace.com and be able to find a cheap place to throw your events. Okay, so we're going to scale. And those events, and it's like maybe $100 for an hour or 2 hours or whatever, right? And so we're going to scale to the pricing. Now we outgrow that place, and then we move it to 1 venue event and 1 hotel event. Then we move it from 1 hotel event to 2 hotel events on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is what's going to help you get there. I don't know if y'all seen our hotel events out in Dallas, but that's always been my vision. It's always been there. If you ask anybody on ATMs, my team was at, like, let's just say 15 people out in Dallas, I was literally saying the whole time, we will throw 2 hotel events a week. We will do it. See, Breeze is saying facts. I said this will happen. And it will happen by the end of this year. By the end of this year. We put almost 1,000 people in there now. Almost 1,000. Do this. Now what's the next step? It's not what happens at the events that matters. It's what happens before and after the event. That one's for Matt Rosa. So if we know this, what do? We want to make sure, this is part of your culture, FYI, we want to have plugging in sessions. What is a plugging in session? A plug-in session is at the Starbucks grind. The Starbucks grind, or wherever it is that you can meet up at. But that is what really matters, because the events will not get packed out if you're not grinding at Starbucks. So what you want to do is you want to get a system of your team getting in the habit of grinding in Starbucks, right? Because what people don't really realize is Amazon may be the biggest online company in the world, but what they don't realize is that the products are offline though, that the money is really made offline, that the warehouse is offline. The revenue is coming from the offline. So how do we get revenue in your online business? We get revenue in your online business by grinding on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, right? Offline. And promoting for Tuesday. Promoting for Tuesday for people to sign up onto your online business. And now, most people, what they say is, most people, and even AWOG, oh wow, he does content. He's going to know this, right? You listen to this. You do not, listen, everyone's like, what's more important, online or offline? Well, guess what? What AWOG does is he documents Matt Rosa and Jason Brown's offline grind. And we just upload it online. There's not one or the other. You do both simultaneously. It's not one or the other. So if you're doing a lot offline, then you're, like common sense, you'll be doing a lot online. You just document it. That's it. That's it. Now when you show up in the Starbucks, you're writing people, etc. Okay? Now, what I want you to understand is you must meet up in person with your team as much as possible. Write that down. I must meet up with my team in person as much as possible. 7 days a week. Why? Because I just told you energy is the key to momentum. Energy is. And so energy is what creates culture. Culture cannot really be felt online. If it could, then why is it that the top leaders throughout the entire company, why is it that they travel the world to be there in person? Because it's not the same. So why are you trying to grow your business by yourself at your own home? Because what you'll realize is that America, right, is just a piece of land without a culture. People don't go die for America, they go die for Americans. People don't go die for America, they die for Americans. So we want to have a culture of people grinding for each other. And how we're going to do that is by the offline grind. So think about this. Why is it, right, that you can have an online girlfriend or an online boyfriend, but you're going to break up with that ass if at some point you don't see them? Why? Because there's no physical interaction, right? They're not there. They're not there. So why are we trying to do it different? Why are we trying to do it different within our business? Why are we trying to do it different with our business? It's not different. So what I want you to do is set this expectation of grinding offline right now, right? So if the best time to do anything is now, then starting tomorrow, start grinding offline. Go meet up, get in a Starbucks, and do it now, right? Now the other thing is 7-figure mentorship, right? I don't know if anybody on ATMs is together yet, right? But what I can tell you is 7-figure mentorship every single Sunday. My team is all meeting up right this second across the world. Why? Why? Because of one thing. We make it to where every single Sunday, we all meet up for 7-figure mentorship to take notes together. Yep, it's off. Yes, it's online. We can watch it from our home, but the energy and the team vibe is what matters. Okay? So now, if I just told you, now I'm going to take all of this and make it make even more sense. We have the system. We know energy is what creates momentum. We have all these other things. Now, once we're in person, this is the key to culture. We need it to be high energy. How? Well, as a leader, it's your job to be high energy, and you're never in a bad mood in front of your team. Now, the other thing that I realize culture is getting someone else to be able to duplicate or replicate your energy. So what does that mean? That means I can be high energy all I want, but I have to get someone else to do it. So what do? I say, right? I say this, right? AWOL, scream right now you're a chairman. And AWOL is going to scream he's a chairman, right? I see him yelling right now, right? And now guess what? You say, tell someone else to do it. Tell someone else to do it. Now they do it. Congratulations. Your culture is now starting. When you get on the phone, right? It's energy is all that matters. You get on the phone. Yo, bro, scream your chairman right now. Scream your chairman right now, right? Bro, my mom's asleep, bro. My mom's asleep. Scream you're a fucking chairman right now, or you don't believe it. I'm a chairman. Bro, I can't hear you, bro. Bro, you better scream you're a chairman. Bro, my mom's asleep. Now, say it now. I'm a fucking chairman, right? And now, guess what we're doing? We're creating that culture. And now once you say something, you're manifesting it. So we're getting them to manifest and remember their vision. And the culture is the team having one vision. Now, before I get off my phone, I'm going to say, yo, yes, hey, well, nice talking to you, big dog. Yo, I love you, bye. Right? Because love is also the key to culture. I love you, bye. High energy at all times. I love you, bye. I love you. High energy. I love you, bye. Oh, that's key. So once we're in the shop, once we're in Starbucks, right? We don't want to just be on our phone writing people. We want to be in Starbucks writing people, but also be high level of energy. We also want to be yelling stuff. And then we want to get breaks, right? We want to put our hand in the middle and have hey, chairman on 3. 1, 2, 3, break. Right? Break. Now the other thing on Trader, I'm glad you said that. Let me talk to you about something really quick, right? On the trading thing. If you want massive momentum, what you have to really understand is this, that nobody really cares about trading. No one really cares about marketing. Get my point? They only care about people. They care about us, the culture. So we want to, if you understand that, people will join the culture, not people over profit. People are joining the culture. That's what they want to see. You can be making $1 million all day, but if you don't have people around and you're just flashing money, no one's going to sign up with you. I can almost promise you that. No one's going to sign up with you if you're rich right now and you're flashing money. But if you have a lot of people around you at all times with a lot of culture, you're going to attract them. Now, the other thing on the charts thing is this, right? What you have to understand is, yes, we're traders, but not really. We're businessmen and businesswomen. And it's key that you understand that, because I see across the globe that most people have a culture of, I'm a trader, not a builder. And that is why you're not moving, because your team is saying, I'm just a trader, I'm not going to go market. And so what you have to understand is, you're not a trader and you're not a marketer. You're a businessman and a businesswoman, meaning you're just a businessman or businesswoman that trades, but you're not a trader. So don't identify yourself as a trader. And if you identify people as traders, that's what you're going to get, is just a trader. And now they can be traders all they want, but they're not going to build. And that's your fault, because you set the expectation of being a trader. Watch what you're saying to your team. What you say is what you'll get. What you say to your team is what you'll get. Everything rises and falls on leadership. My team's not building. What are you saying to them? My team's not building. What are you doing with them? My team's not meeting up. Did you set the expectation? Right? My team's not meeting up. Did you miss an event? Did you as a leader miss an event? That's all the things that matters. You're not a trader. You're not a builder, right? You're a businessman and a businesswoman, and you want to get your team on that same pace. Right now, I'm gonna start wrapping this call up here on the last bits and halves and pieces of all this. I just want to make sure I get all of AWOL's stuff. Drop some one if you're. How do you correct that expectation if that wasn't set? Corbin, it's really hard. It's really hard to do that. I cannot lie. It's really hard. I'll try to answer that when I get through the rest of this. I'm looking. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you go. Okay, perfect. So now that's the system. We went through culture, right? Went through all this other stuff. Okay, cool. I'm gonna wrap this up with mindset really quick, right? Because this is really all that matters. And you really got to understand this. Mindset is what really matters. And once you really can acknowledge this, you will grow. Okay? I love how I say mindset and like people start dropping off the call. I love it, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So with that part being said, right, the thing that you got to understand is not one person can teach you, right? Not one person can teach you the end all be all for how to become successful, because it's not possible. There's no how to that will help you grow your business. Experience is what helps you grow your business. And not one man or woman in this world can teach you experience. That's why when you get a college degree, they still won't give you the best job in the world, because they're going to say, we want 4 years of what? Experience on top of that. So what people are not understanding is they want to take all of the notes. They want to be on every call, right? But one thing that they're afraid of is they're afraid of failing. And the one thing that I say to my team day after day is, let's go fail very quickly. Because if you realize that failure is just giving you experience, you will not fail, okay? You will not fail if you realize that failure is giving you experience, because experience is what we need. So I'm not failing and I'm not sucking because someone tells me no. I'm learning how to get a yes later on in the future. I'm learning how to get better. I'm going to critique what I'm doing. So I want to go get as many no's as possible. I want to throw as many no-show home events as possible, because I will figure the rest out the more that I fail. See, the thing is till this day, I'm still learning how to efficiently and effectively tour. And I've been on a lot. But the thing is every time I go on a tour, I get a new experience that says I won't do that again. That won't happen again. I will not do this again. So did I fail, or did I have a new experience that taught me what to not do? And so the thing is so many people are not realizing that the experience is what's really growing you as an individual. The experience is what you need. Why is it that what happens when somebody goes to the gym for 7 days a week for a year and they eat good food, we say we know that they're going to have a good body. We know that their body is going to be successful. But for you, you're not thinking that if I grind my face off and I'm getting failure after failure, you don't see that as growing. That's you growing as an individual. And when you grow as an individual, right, your bank account begins to grow. So what you're doing is you're thinking it's not working. You're not working. You are not working. You. And once you realize everything is your fault, you will understand that as a leader, everything is my fault, everything is your fault. Once you take responsibility for this, you will realize that you're just growing through this process. And that is exactly why once you start grinding, right? Once you start grinding and you're failing, you can start skipping ranks, because God will not give you something that you're not ready for. And so what I can tell you right now is everybody wants to be a Chairman 25, but if you don't have the experience that I have, what if I give you my team? Are you going to know what to do with it? If I give you my team, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do? Oh, I don't want to go through the experience. But if I give you, so you're not ready because you didn't have the experience. So you're trying to skip the line when you're not ready for it. You have to go fail once you fail enough times, it equals success. Failure many times equals success. So the thing is so many people, what they don't understand is they're moving slow. They're moving slow and they're trying to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm the biggest failure, right? If you're a chairman 25 or less, right? I'm the biggest failure on this call then. I'm the biggest failure. The thing is I'm not better than you. I'm not smarter than you. I have more experience than you. And you're thinking that I'm going to get the call, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, the thing that's going to make me who I am. But what you're not realizing is that you're not doing the things that you need to do to get the result that you need to get for you to learn from that result to get the success that you want. Because there's a difference between teaching something and doing it and having the experience. And once you realize that, you will begin to grow very quickly. And so you have to understand this. And I can't stress this enough, because if you understood this, you will never quit. If you understood this, you'll keep grinding, right? So everybody asks, what does it take? It's whatever it takes. It's whatever it takes. It's whatever it takes to get to whatever place that you want to be. Don't ask what it takes. It's whatever. It does not matter. It does not matter for me how long it takes to get to Chairman 50. I will do whatever it takes to get to Chairman 50. I will do whatever it takes to get to Chairman 100. I'll do whatever it takes to get to Chairman 500. That's what it takes. That's the answer. Okay? So the thing is that you need to have this mentality and be tenacious and stop being afraid to fail. So what you got to understand is, right? Look at this. If I move, right? And let's just say I talk to 20 people this month, and you talk to 20 people in 1 hour, right? Who has more experience? Drop it in the chat. 20 people in 1 month or 20 people in 1 hour? Who has more experience? Drop it in the chat. It's the same. It's the same. So get this. Get this very, very good point right now. So you're telling me that if I go fail quicker than you, that I'm going to have more experience. If I fail quick, so because if it's the same, so get this. So if you talk to 20 people for a month, 20 people a month, all year, so 20 times 12, I don't give a fuck what the number is, excuse my language, right? I don't care what the number is, it equals whatever, I'm not smart, okay? And then you have somebody that does 20 people every hour for the entire year. Common sense will tell you that that person's going to have a better result. Why though? Because they're doing it faster. It's all the same. So the reason why you're not moving faster and you're not getting the results that you want is because you're not failing fast enough. You're moving slower because you're hesitating, and you're hesitating because you're afraid of the failure. But what you don't realize is you need that experience. So you might as well go get it very quickly. So when you wake up in the morning, go fail as many times, as fast as you can, because if you fail quicker, you'll get success quicker. But if you fail slow, you'll get success slow, if at all. And we're in the business where success loves speed. So if we're in the business where success loves speed, then move quickly. Okay? You have the blueprint. You know what to do. You know what to do. You need to show up. You need to show up at all times, right? This isn't, the thing is that so many people want to blame their upline, right? Oh, it's AWOL's fault that this. My team wasn't trading. This team, well, people are cross-recruiting because their team wasn't doing this. Oh my God. Yo, that's your fault. You're not going to be able to go to someone else. That's your fault. Start owning up to the shit that you have now, and you will start getting the results that you want. And then one thing I remember asking Matt Rosa, and then I'm literally I'm done after this, right? I remember this is my law of attraction nugget for you. One thing I remember asking Matt Rosa, I remember specifically, I said to him, Matt, I know I'm supposed to be thinking about the things that I want all the time, right? All the time. And I said, so do you just think about, I asked straight up, do you think about money all the time? Is that not a valid question, right? I said, so do you think about money all the time? And he wrote me back, and Jason Brown said, both of them wrote me back and said, no, never. This was years ago. No, never. I never understood that. And let me explain to you how I believe the law of attraction works. This is what I believe. I believe that you're taught to dwell on the end result. You're taught to think about the one thing that you want and think about it all the time. I don't believe that that's true. What I've realized is that the reason why they don't think about it is because now that I'm in the position that I'm in, right? I had somebody on my team ask me not that long ago, and I said, he said, what does it feel like to be chairman 25 and know how much money you're making every single month? I said, it's like drinking water. I said, it feels the same as drinking some good water. And he was like, what do you mean? And I said, he goes, well, that can't be, right? It's got to be better. I'm like, that's why you're not chairman 25, right? What's my point, though? I feel great about everything. I feel blessed about everything. So, like this water, yeah, like, I'll be real. Does it feel good to have 7 racks at the bank account? Yeah, it does. But so does drinking this water. The problem is you're not thinking like that. You're not thinking about the blessings that you have right now. So you only want one thing, but you're only trying to feel abundant about one thing and not feeling abundant about everything, not feeling grateful about everything. I'm not thinking about money. I'm just feeling abundant. I'm just feeling abundant at all times. I feel great about this water. I feel great when, I just go for a walk. I feel great when I lay down in bed. I feel great when okay things happen in life. It all feels the same. So what I want you to do is not necessarily think only about what you want, but also think about just feeling good about everything. And the last part of that tip, right, on the law of attraction side, okay, is what you must understand. Oh shit, I lost it. No, I lost it. My bad. Sorry guys, I lost the thought. Oh my gosh, what is it? Where is it? Oh, I think it's gone. Law of vibration. Oh, write down your goal. Okay, write down your goal. But the thing is there's no need to focus on the goal and try to live in the goal. Okay? And this is something I just heard Bryce said the other day on the call last week. And this is something I've been training to the team over and over and over and over again, because I don't train what I'm taught, I train what I experience. Okay? So this is my point. I write down the goal, and what I realized is when I hit chairman and chairman 25, I was not thinking about it. I wrote it down and I focused on the grind, right? Because faith is believing without seeing, right? But what you have to understand is in order to truly show that you have faith, you must take action. Action is what shows faith. Action is what shows faith. Saying I have faith is not taking faith, right? You can say, I'm going to jump off this cliff and I believe I'm going to fly, but how do you know you're going to fly, right? You have to take the action to do it before you can actually say I have the faith. It doesn't make any sense. So what you got to do is you have to move as if you're that person right now. And I'm not going to know, you're not going to know how you're going to get your goal. Okay? You will never, ever, ever know what God or the universe or whatever it is that you believe in has to do to get your goal. You'll never know. So why are you thinking about it? All you need to do is grind now. And on the point of it, and you're sprinting in track, you keep your head down for a couple seconds, and then you pop your head up, right? And then when you pop your head, you keep going. Next thing you know, you're across the finish line. And so what you got to understand is just keep your head down, stay in the trenches, right? And one day you'll pop up and realize, I wrote this goal down and I can't believe it. I accidentally hit it. Because there's things that I have in my life right now that I wrote down like 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And literally right? Literally, it manifested. I'm going to read this last thing, and I'm done. I'm just going to read it, and I'm literally going to pass it back to AWOL. I'm done. Listen to this. This is 7 years ago, right? Hey, guys, thanks for reading my post. I'm sorry, this is 2015, not 7 years ago. Hey, guys, thanks for reading my post. Here's a little introduction about me. Keep in mind, I'm a felon right now. I'm I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm not in IM. Never heard about it. I'm writing in a forum, in this forum online out of hope. Hey guys, thanks for reading this post. Right? Here's a little introduction about me. I'm 24 years old. I moved to Texas from California to change my life. I moved here. In California, I grew up in a bad town. Did bad things. I was sentenced to prison at the age of 18 and got out when I was 21. I wasn't able to graduate high school, so I got my GED in prison. While I was in prison, I had a few near-death experiences, which taught me that this was not what I wanted to do with my life. I began to read books of internet marketing, and although I do not understand it very well, it was highly intriguing to me. When I moved to Texas, I knew getting a job would be difficult, but I guess I did not know, right? I guess I did not know how difficult it would be, right? Hold on. Okay. I guess I did not know how difficult it would be. Where did I lost here? Okay. Oh, there it is. I landed a job as a busboy, in which I still currently do. I also attend community college, and I'm on the honors roll. I then tried to transfer to university, and unfortunately found out that I'm unable to take classes at our university due to my felony. After struggling with job security and education, I've begun to try to take, now listen, this is where shit gets real. Listen to this. After struggling with job security and education, I've begun to try to take these problems into my own hands. So if I cannot attend college, I will invest my saved money from busting tables into education. And if I cannot land a job in corporate America, I will work for myself. I've been learning to day trade for almost a year now, and this is not through IM, by the way, right? I have been learning to day trade for almost a year now, and I love the concept. I've used some of my own money and have made a little bit during day trading, but I'm not consistent enough to make a steady income. I will continue to study and learn more tricks until I accomplish this goal. After becoming a full-time day trader, I would also like to start learning how to do internet marketing, or to get paid by clicks or make some type of residual income. Day trading and internet marketing and the ability to make a residual income is highly intriguing to me. I'm very self-motivated. I'm not looking to get rich quick. I will wake up early and I will go to sleep late. I will study when everyone is out, or when everyone else is out partying. I will study when everyone else is sleeping, and I will study while everyone else wakes up hungover. I do not have a real niche as far as something I can market, right? What I was saying right there, by the way, I do not have a niche as far as something I can market. So y'all are looking at me for who I am right now. What I'm saying right there, just to be specific, I'm saying that I'm not good at anything. I do not have a niche as far as something I can market. I'm not good at anything, is what I'm saying right there. I have no real niche as far as something I can market or anything of that sort. I'm still researching for exactly what I'm trying to do, but I just need to know that it's possible, and that is why I'm here in this forum. I actually had an idea of making a website or a video channel, and this is the end of it, right? A website or a video channel of the same look as this website right here. I thought it would be amazing to show people a rich lifestyle, even though I don't have one yet. Even though I don't have one yet. I wrote that in 2015 before I joined this company. I didn't even know what network marketing was. And so with that part being said, I know that if I can do it, you can do it. I'm going to go ahead and kick this back to AWOL. I appreciate you guys for your time. I love y'all. I'm out.
Yo. Thank you so much, Cash Cartier, for jumping on the call. Guys, please give a big thank you to Cash Cartier for being so humble and having humility, sharing his story. with us, and at the same time just giving us the nuggets. I don't know about you guys, but I took notes, dog. I took notes, and I'm going to put them to work. Before we end this call, I do want to ask you two things, okay? So if you turn your mic on, just answer me these two things. One, Orlando, Dallas, Connecticut, some of these areas are, in certain areas, are kind of an untapped market, especially Orlando. Right now, we are not running Tuesdays and Thursdays events, right? We have a team where it's been not a struggle, but, you know, it's a problem. But do you think there's a certain level that a team needs to get at before they're throwing 2 events a week, or just build it and they will come?
How big is the team out there?
I would say if everyone showed up, like 40 people.
Oh yeah, you can do 2.
2?
Oh yeah. Yep.
2 a week. And do you recommend, like for instance, I have Tuesdays trading nights, Thursdays event, or both events?
I do both events. You want to be able to, you always want to bam fam, right? So you want to book a meeting from a meeting. So you always want to have someone be able to invite to the next event. And so if you're, for example, if you're on Tuesday, then we could tell everybody, hey, you guys, you know, invite all your friends for the Thursday event. So everyone that signs up on Tuesday or everyone that signs up on Wednesday can now send people to the Thursday event, if that makes sense. And then it comes back full circle.
Okay, dope. And last question is, my internet, I don't know what's coming out, but my last question is, if I have a growing group, say 3, 4, 5 people in a certain area, is that means to just go out there right away, pack the cars up with as many squad that can go, bring the heat to them and throw an event? Or do you wait till someone gets to P600 or whatever first?
So that's a good question. So the way I look at it is, well, how far is there a specific location or like
5-hour drive?
I would do a 5-hour drive. You know, I would do a 5-hour. That's not a big deal. Usually my rule, I don't really have a rule of thumb. I'm big on energy. So if I see a team moving, you know what I mean? The odds of me going out there are pretty high. I like to attack momentum. I like to strike iron while it's hot. And so I don't believe in structure. I believe in energy. So I just look at energy and I let that tell me what to do, if that makes sense.
Okay, and last question is just like Corban asked. Corban's a recent P600, you know, on his way to P1000. But like he just asked again, how do you correct? So like for instance, if I want to implement these expectations, okay, and we have this thing where people are like, hey, I came here to learn how to trade, but yet they're not jumping on IMAT Academy, they're not jumping on Go Live sessions a day, and then they come to a Tuesday night meeting and it's an event, and they're like, oh, it's another event. Right? How do we set that expectation now that it wasn't set?
That's such a good question. So number one is everybody on my team, just so y'all know, we don't teach trading. That's a big no-no. And the reason why is because you're setting that expectation for them to want to watch you, whoever it is. And then now they're not plugging into the IM Academy, they're plugging into you. And so that's going to be a very big thing that on our team, I tell everybody, if you teach trading, you're going to have a culture of non-movement. The other thing is never in the presentation did we ever tell anybody, right? Hey, we're going to teach you personally in person. So the thing is what you want to do is gather your leaders who are on the same page, and you just want to draw a line and say, this is what I've been mentored to do, right? You signed up for the IM Academy. This is where the 6- and 7-figure earners are teaching you, right? That's what you're there for. Our job is to build the business and, you know, and to get you plugged in and make sure you're plugged in and stuff like that. And so moving forward, to answer the specific of it, what you want to do is draw the line, have the leaders draw the line, and you guys focus on each other. And I'll be real, you might have fallout for it, right? But if you focus on those, not everybody can be saved, and not everybody wants to be saved. So focus on those that want to be saved, right? So you're gonna have people that are gonna be haters, negative, etc. And if they quit, they were gonna quit anyways. So with that part being said, right, it's not our job as mentors to do what they want us to do, right? It's our job to get them to be successful. And so with that part being said, I'm not going to do something that I know is not going to help them get faster results just because they want to do it their way. That's not my job as a mentor. So I'm very blunt with it. I'm very blunt with it. And if they don't like it, you know, I didn't say that during the presentation. You didn't say that during the presentation. That's, you know, maybe my fault in the beginning for setting that expectation. But moving forward, what I said is I had the same problem. We used to have a trade house literally out here in Dallas. And we said, hey, you guys, we're switching it up. You know, you need to start focusing on the academy. That's what it's there for. You know, if you want to have a good business, right? You think about this. You don't ever see the CEO of Starbucks pouring your drinks. He's not going to know how to make his own coffee. I can promise you. He's not going to know how to make all the coffee on there, right? That our job is we don't need to be the best traders in the world or teach it because we have people that are hired by the company to do the teaching for us. I'm the CEO of my organization. You're the CEO of your organization. They are I don't even know how to say the word. They're the bartenders of the coffee shop. And so you send them into the coffee shop. That's where they get their drink, not from the CEO, not from you. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I think that's what's you know, been, I think a lot of teams in this business are tripping up over. They feel like people want to be, oh, you know, I came here to join how to trade, but all you're teaching me is leadership and mindset and stuff, and they're not even logging into Go Live. You know, they're not even utilizing. They don't even know any harmonic scanner strategies, but they expect to. Like, here's how you trade and I tell my team the same thing. I'm not the seven-figure trader. I'd be doing you a disservice if I showed you how to trade when you can learn from Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. That's dope. Hey, I appreciate your time. It's about 30 minutes to Chairman Mentorship time, where we have the first female millionaire, a part of this platform, Paloma Sensores, actually throwing down. So I'm super excited to hear that out of Mexico. So if you guys think you have excuses anywhere in the United States, Mexico's average income is like 500 US a month. And yeah, so let's definitely take some notes from her. Cash Cartier, appreciate your time, bro. I have this recorded. I will upload it to YouTube and send you the link. MXM, thank you guys. Walking ATMs, thank you guys. Everyone else, have a wonderful night. Take care. Let's get it.